Hello and welcome to Sports Update. This evening, I am Emmanuel Fashime and we have every update for you when it comes to the world of sport on Trust TV. You are sure to always get all the updates that you need to know in all of the sports that we bring to you on this program. And quickly, we'll be starting with this first story. It concerns the BAL, that is Basketball League Africa, where 4 Nigerians has been selected to feature in the 2023 Global Jam Basketball Fiesta. Is going to be happening in Toronto, that is in Canada. The Global Jam Basketball is a 5-on-5 under 23 basketball tournament featuring women and men's teams from all around the world. It's not just Africa alone. It's every continent of the world that will be meeting this particular tournament. The trio of Emmanuel Okafor, Nelly Joseph, and Victor Eze were selected from Kwara Falcons team, while Abimbola Adewumi, a female player, was selected from Maryland University, that is in United States of America. Like I said, it will take a center stage at Toronto's Matami Athletic Center, and that is in Canada, where this event will be happening, and it's going to be starting today, particularly tonight, and we're going to be seeing some games going down, and we'll have our 4 players that will be joining other African players right there in Canada. And I have Isaac Omidiji that will be joining me on this show to actually deal with all the stories we have this evening. But first, the BAL Africa has actually deemed it fit to pick 4 Nigerian basketballers. 3 of them from Kwara Falcons and 1 from United States of America. But the problem is, the news that is coming from NBBF is not a good one, but these players will actually be representing Nigeria, joining other African players right there in Toronto, Canada. I am Michael. Just give us your own thought about this whole event. It's a welcome development, but let's quickly shift attention to NBBF right now. How can we actually resolve this issue of NBBF? The power tussle has cost us a lot for so long, and it just looks as if this issue is not going to end anytime soon. Now, what can be the lasting solution? Because we know if the federal government interferes again, we know what happened the last time the former president, that is President Muhammadu Buhari, when he intervened and we were banned, and because of that we lost the FIBA World Championship ticket to Mali. But this time around, this whole issue continues with NBBF. How can we find a lasting solution, Michael? More than this is the 4th year.
many players who were supposed to have developed and taken their careers to the next stage have been halted, have been paused, have been set aback for the past 4 years. Their career has been on dwindling degeneration, which is very unfair. I think the new minister, the first task on his table should be how to resolve this task, restore just one president of the NBBF, and then swing straight to action, ensure that the league comes back. We want the Nigerian League, Basketball League, to come back to fruition. That should be the target of the new minister. Thank God we have been hearing the rumors. We don't know if it's actually the real list, but whatever it is, that should be the first task of the next minister, since Sunday Dare could not really resolve it while he was Minister of Sports.
Yes, since the ex-minister Sunday Dare could not actually resolve that issue, the incoming one, whoever he is, should, as a matter of urgency, just look into the NBBF crisis and let us have a sleep over this whole issue, because it's not doing the players good, it's not doing the federation a good deal. Because if it continues, then I would be of the opinion they should just scrap NBBF from Nigeria, maybe sporting federations. When the whole issue is being resolved, then they can come back, reconvene, or let's have a fresh election. In fact, different persons from the previous ones we have there before. But I believe the new minister that will be coming in will actually look into this and resolve that issue. Let's leave that story of the basketball and head straight to Asaba, Delta State, where the rugby sevens, that for the women tournament, we actually kick off on the 15th of this month. We have about 12 teams that has confirmed their participation for this particular tournament, and the 12 teams are on your screen right now. We have the Eastern Springbok RFC of Anambra, we have Abia State Rugby FC from Abia State, we have Coast City Angels RFC from Enugu State, we have Heartland Pyramid Rugby Team, we have Nigerian Police Rugby Club, we have Gosa Rugby Club, we have ECO2 Rugby Club, we have Benue Buffalo Rugby Club, and then we have Team Edo Rugby Club, we have Barawa Rugby Club of Kano, and then we have Zaria Rugby Club of Kaduna, and then Yankari Rugby Club. These are the 12 clubs, that the 12 women's club team that will be battling it. It's just a 2-day event right there in Delta State, Asaba. We know this event would have happened on the 1st and 2nd of July this month, but it didn't happen. At the end of the day, it was rescheduled, but now we are going to be having it on the 15th. And while it was rescheduled, it's because of the ladies' engagement in Mauritius, where they actually attended one tournament. But we know the ladies could not play in the pre-qualifiers for the Olympics because of the ban that was placed on our ladies. But quickly, 12 teams confirmed their participation for this tournament that will be happening in Delta State, Asaba. Precisely.
Yes, it's a good thing. Yes, they had hitches, things that had them delay and had to reschedule. But the good thing is that against all odds, the tournament is unfolding. I just love the fact that we are beginning to embrace rugby. It has been seen over the years as a South African sport, but I think Nigeria is beginning to embrace the sport. And of course, we have a comparative advantage in our numbers. When we decide to do anything, Nigerians always go for the record books. And I'm glad that we have taken rugby by storm. They're defeating the odds, overcoming all the hurdles, just to ensure that this tournament kicks off, on the 15th of July. So it's good for Nigeria. We need more athletes go into rugby. We have so many talented young lads coming up. Let everybody not just focus on football, basketball, volleyball. Rugby is one sport that needs to be, publicized. The Nigerian populace, upcoming sports enthusiasts and sports legend enthusiasts need to know that rugby is one sport that you can depend on, even though it's a contact sport. Several people run away from rugby because it looks like the boxing of football. When you see heads clashing, you begin to wonder, especially for the fact that in American football, they use a helmet, but in rugby, they really don't use a helmet. You see them looking well built. Actually, it's an expensive sport that the Nigerian sports industry needs to invest in. You need to get players in shape. Physical attributes matters a lot in this sport. But I'm glad that the tournament will unfold against all odds.
It will unfold against all odds. It would have happened earlier between 1st and 2nd of this month, but they had to reschedule, and now we are going to be having it on the 15th and 16th of this month. 12 teams will be taking part, and all of these teams, I love the way these teams are being spread out, all from the 6 geopolitical zone, the likes of Eastern Springbok RFCs of Anambra. We have Benue Buffaloes of Makurdi, Team Edo Rugby Club from Edo State, Barewa Rugby Club of Kano, Zaria Rugby Club of Kaduna, Yankari Rugby Club, Gosa Rugby Club, Nigeria Police Rugby Club, Heartland Pyramid Rugby Team, Coal City Angels from Enugu State, and then we have the Abia State Rugby FC, like I mentioned earlier, Eastern Springbok RFC. All of these teams are from the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria, and it's a good one. Like Michael mentioned, it's an expensive sport. It's a sport that if we invest in, we will get the better of it. When it comes to rugby, South Africa is #1. They won the World Cup in 2015. When you look at the way they play the Rugby World Cup, it's even something that is maybe I can place it side by side with the World Cup. That is the Football World Cup, but it's also as big as the Football World Cup. But rugby is a sport that is not too known in this part of the world, most especially in Nigeria. But we are actually pulling our weight when it comes to some of these sports, and it's a good one for these 12 teams to actually show their interest and confirm their participation in this 7th tournament that will be happening at the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Delta State. That is Asaba, the venue of that stadium. And let's move away from that story and head straight to Egypt, where African giants, I call them African giant, Al-ahly, they are African giant, Egyptian giant, winning their 43rd title. They are just the Real Madrid of Africa. They won their 11th Champions League title last season. Now they've won the 43rd title of that is the Egyptian League, with 5 matches to spare. Their closest rival, Pyramids, they are 8 points adrift of clear of Pyramids. The Pyramid have 2 games to go, but for the Egyptian giants, the African giant, they have 5 matches. That is 15 points. Pyramids just have 2 games to play to the end of the season. Now 43rd title for Al-ahly. Michael.
Yes, I mean, what Real Madrid is to Spain, what Bayern Munich is to Germany, is what, or should I say, what Manchester is to England, is what Al-ahly is to Egypt. When it comes to the Champions League, they are closing up on Real Madrid. They are counting it in their numbers. Please, I remember when Real Madrid did La Decima, La Undecima, and now today too they have done La Decima, La Undecima. I mean, then when you talk about the league, 43 wins. It's more or less a traditional, customary rehearsal for Al-ahly. I mean, a team is just like Bayern Munich. You go into every season with the expectation to win the league. And I think it boils down to their organization. If you are playing in Al-ahly, it feels like you are playing in Europe because the players are well paid. I mean, when you are in Al-ahly, it feels as if you are in any of the Saudi leagues where they are splashing cash as if they are picking it from the sand of the seashore. So it comes as no surprise. Al-ahly is definitely by far the greatest club in the African continent. They have proven that, yes, they rule Africa, and they are not ready to look back.
They are not ready to look back for the 3rd title. They are just like the Real Madrid of Spain, the Manchester United of England, the PSG of Ligue 1, and Ajax of Holland, that is the Dutch Eredivisie. Winning their 43rd title, that is the Egyptian League, with 5 games to spare. Wow, that's a massive one, massive one. We used to see this in Europe with the likes of Bayern Munich winning the league even before some matches some of their matches, but this time around they have also done it, winning their own league with 5 games to go, and that is a very massive record, big one. They are the defending champions of the African Champions League, that is the CAF Champions League. They've won it record 11 times. Good one for coming in from Al-ahly with a better organization. I think Nigerian club sides should emulate and learn from what Al-ahly is actually doing, because when we talk about welfare, they know what it is to take care of a player. They have a better organization. Facility wise, they are there. Structure, everything you think of, whatever happens in Europe is also happening in that league. The likes of Abu Trika never played for any European club, played in that Al-ahly till he retired. Hussein, their greatest goalkeeper, who played when he was 41, also played in this club. So a lot of great players when it comes to African football actually played with this team that is from Egypt, and now they are coasting home with their 43rd title. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to Egyptian football. Massive one coming in from that place. And let's move away from the Egyptian story and head straight to England, where a man, this man, I will no longer call him a young man because age is actually catching up on him. He's 20-something years of age, 29. That is Harry Kane of Tottenham. He wants to make that move out of Tottenham to join Bayern Munich. Kane is keen to join Bayern Munich this summer, and Bayern Munich is actually preparing the 3rd bid after their first 2 bids was rejected. This time around they are preparing the 3rd bid. This man who is with Bayern Munich, former Chelsea manager, actually won the services of this man. When you go to his cabinet, there are no medals, but what will you say? Golden boots, Michael.
Yes, of course. When you talk about Harry Kane, he's one in my book. He is one of the top 5 English strikers of all time. I mean, you are looking at a guy with over 350 goals, 213 for Tottenham Hotspur, 58 for the 3 Lions of England. I mean, in the Champions League, he has gone as far as being a runners-up, back-to-back leading goal scorer in 2016 and 2017. And if not for the coming of Salah, I think he would have had a lot of golden boots in the English Premier League. But he's in search and is yearning for trophies. Tottenham Hotspur has given him the platform to develop, to, of course, get himself to legendary status. But what is a player without trophies? I mean, what is a player without medals? He needs medals. And where do you get medals? Bayern Munich is definitely a place where you are at least assured of the domestic medals. And most times they finish with the league double. And that is where Harry Kane is heading to. Whatever the price that is tagged on Harry Kane, I think Bayern Munich should ensure that they complete this deal. Especially now that we don't understand the form of money in the last season. I think that will be a dynamic duo for Harry Kane. He's a legend, and I think it's well deserved. He needs to finish his career with trophies. That I believe is what is inspiring him to make this move.
That is what is inspiring him to actually make this move. Now, let me take you on this. The contract renewal that kept the last contract renewal with Tottenham, he signed a 5 years contract considering his age. Was that a mistake from Harry Kane to actually put pen to paper when he signed that contract?
Yes, I think it was a mistake because he thought the team was going to build around him. He thought they were going to bring in players that will make them a contender. Because when you see a team like Manchester City, you know you have to match them in the transfer market to be able to usurp them to either win, the League Cup or the English Premier League. So yes, I saw it as a mistake, and I think he's 29. He's still in the peak of his career. He still has a mileage of another 3-4 years in his legs to go grab the golden boot abroad. We don't see too many English players going abroad to play, but I think Harry Kane has what it takes to fit into the German league. So yes, it was. I saw it as a mistake, and this deal should pull through because we want to see Harry Kane. I mean, he has joined the likes of Thierry Henry. When you talk about legendary goal scorers, Alan Shearer, those are the names that are at par with Harry Kane or the Mohamed Salahs. I mean, players who have hundreds of goals, I mean, attached to their names. So yes, it was a mistake.
It was a mistake for Harry Kane to actually sign that contract extension. They were at the verge of winning a trophy with Jose Mourinho, and when Daniel Levy actually had to pull the plugs on Jose Mourinho and they lost that Carabao Cup final to Manchester City, it was actually a painful one for Harry Kane. He had expected to actually have a medal for the first time in his career, in his life, and Daniel Levy actually scrutinized that dream for Harry Kane. But this time around, if he actually makes this move to Bayern Munich, then he's expected to actually have a medal on his neck, because like I said, if you go to Harry Kane's cabinet, all you will see is golden boot. There are no medals to show that I've won this, I've won that, I've won this league, not won this league, I've not done this. But good one for him. He's a fantastic player with 100 plus goals for the national team, and then 200 plus goals for Tottenham. He's the highest goal scorer when it comes to Tottenham history. And let's see at the end of the day, because Bayern Munich wants, and Thomas Tuchel actually wants this man at all costs. And if I'm Harry Kane, if I'm his brother, I would advise him to actually push for this move to go through and go to Germany. But for English players, they always find it difficult going outside the shores of England to excel. The likes of Owen Hargreaves actually made it, went to Bayern Munich and came back to Manchester United, won the Champions League in 2008 with Manchester United and the league. And then the likes of Michael Owen also went to the Galacticos, that is Real Madrid, where he could not hold his own and came back to England. But for some of the English players, McManaman also played in Real Madrid, but at the end of the day, actually did well. Before we go on the show, let's quickly take this last story that concerns Juventus. Paul Pogba. He has been offered £128 million in a 3-year deal to join a Saudi Arabia club. And which club is that? That is Etihad Club of Saudi Arabia. He is going to earn £128 million. Wow. For 3 years, wow, if he actually goes to Etihad, that is in Saudi Arabia. Michael, if I'm Paul Pogba, I would just pack my bag and then head straight to the airport, straight to Saudi Arabia.
Yes, of course. I mean, that is a humongous amount. In short, that is a monumentally massive sum of money that you cannot turn down. What you have not made in your 15-20 year career, if you go to the Saudi League as an established legend, you will make it in 2-3 years. If I'm lying, ask the likes of Ronaldo. I mean, ask the likes of Igalo, that when you get to some of these clubs, you become, your net worth quadruples immediately, with immediate alacrity. That is what is happening to Paul Pogba. He is a legend. He is a proven player. I mean, a World Cup winner. He has done it with Manchester United, done it with Juventus. I mean, rose through the ranks. We can't forget what he did at the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. I mean, there is nothing left to prove on the table. The only thing left for him is to fatten his account. And of course, he needs to go to Saudi, where they pick money on this as if it is on the sand of the seashore. I think they want to give him a monetary bat. I think he should just grab this opportunity so that maybe he can even be in Forbes magazine as one of the richest footballers of all time.
One of the richest footballers of all time. Michael Abba-Idoko, thanks for joining me on the show this evening.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you, MC Fash. You are the best radio TV presenter.
All right. Sports is live. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Thanks for watching.